getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the round pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I am smiling from ear to ear because this is the sim racing event of this century. Welcome, one and all, to the Sim Racing Collective Banger Race here at Lanier National Speedway. My name is Zach Sweeney. I've got Dean Hopton alongside me in the commentary booth for some interesting action here this evening. We've got 3 races totaling 140 laps in total, and it should be a ton of fun. As you can see, it's an oval, it's covered in dirt. We're in the Toyota GR86s. Damage is off, and all is fair game. We've got some sensational drivers, some sensational liveries, and hopefully, Biggles, 110% carnage.
Oh, absolutely. Clean racing, out the door. You don't want it to be clean racing. We're going to have some qualifying right now for everybody. And some of those fantastic liveries to go that you mentioned too, because I didn't even know you even mentioned something about Poundland and things like that. I'm like, what is that, Zach? Well, as you said, it's like, here we go, right there, speaking the devil, as they're coming out of the pit road. There's your Poundland. And also in the chat, we'll engage everybody in the chat there, Zach. We've got a couple of people saying hello. Pick out your favorite liveries as well, so we get a chance to go through them.
Yeah, exactly. There should be a lot of them. I'm pretty much on livery watch. That's my job. You can see the Hooters one in the background, couple of McDonald's one. I think there's a sweet wrapper one as well in the background. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but definitely a sweet wrapper nonetheless. There you can see Kieran Sharp just at the bottom of the screen. He's in what is the laziest livery I think I've ever seen, purely because it is just a white car covered in dirt, as if it's not going to get dirty enough out on circuit anyway. A lot of fun ones. There you can see a police car just to, of course, punish those that do some naughty driving or commit some absolute war crimes themselves, because as you do, it's carnage. At the moment, they're in their 5 minutes of open qualifying, because that's a great idea. Then we add ourselves into a 30-minute Heat 1, which decides the grid for Heat 2, but it doesn't decide the grid for Heat 2, purely because the finishing order is then reversed, and that's then the grid. Same going into the 80-lap feature race as well. It's carnage, it's chaos, it's a little bit of fun, just to blow off some steam. You know, people get frustrated out there on track. They build rivalries, they build tension, they build this, that, and the other. They build those, you know, strenuous relationships at best with some people, and this is a golden opportunity to go out there and, well, to have at it.
Yeah, exactly. You've had in the off season, of course, with a fantastic season, and you want to get out there and just bang. Here you go. Cop car T-bones him into the fence there and says, "Yeah, here we go. You were speeding, my friend. Didn't pull over. Bingo." Yeah, no, it's a wreck fest for a lot of fun. I do think they're going to really try to push it right here for the qualifying, because, as you can see, they're not really deliberately taking each other out, but they will, of course, for the race. But how much do you think that's going to make a big difference anyway, being on pole?
It's not, because nothing is a guarantee. There is purely exactly what you need. The insurance companies are going to be cringing so incredibly hard at all of this racing, purely because the payouts are going to be enormous, not just for the car damages. Actually, no, it's not going to be for the car damages, because damage, thankfully, is off. It's going to be for the trauma, for the whiplash, for the broken wrists with the force feedback, as someone absolutely slams into the side of Hooters. Clearly not a fan of how they do things there. So Mark Sykes saying a lot about himself. Grant Miller there in a very shiny red livery that just basically makes him a massive target for those around. There's Costa C in the Hooters livery. Big respect to this man. He is a golden character in the world of sim racing. Commentated on him in the Enduro K Witness Sim Series. He's doing a 24-hour race of Silverstone in not too long, and well, he's jumping in with these guys to cause some absolute carnage. We are heading our way towards the end of this 5-minute session, thank goodness for that. But you can just see we've not even got into the competitive part of this evening, and it's already carnage, chaos. Just wait until we have to go for 160 racing laps.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's going to take. It could be over very quickly. It could be over. Bang. There you go. Oh, manages to save too, the tag that he got from the DeWalt machine. It'll be very interesting at the chat there, of course. And come on, Tom. Jack's livery, we've gone from Handsome Stu. Once again, we want to get your opinions out there, please, of your favourite liveries. All the drivers are on wet weather tyres. Not that it's going to give you much of a difference anyway. We're going to see some cars going upside down. Just explain some of the rules, what basic rules that we have there, Zachary. So, of course, there's no damage on. Cars will instantly be repaired. And if you... No toes, right, Zach? So if you're up on your lid, you're going to wait for somebody to bounce you over.
I don't think it's a rule per se, but it's definitely something they've been encouraged not to do, I think. But we've been assured by Kieran Sharp that even if you are on your roof, don't worry, you are effectively a target and someone will flip you the right way up. Those that have played any form of racing on Grand Theft Auto, just think of that. This is what we're going for, of course, on Sim Racing's premium service of iRacing, laser scan tracks and pinpoint accuracy and the tyre feel and the physics engine and all of that. Just for a bunch of lads to turn up on one Friday evening and say, you know what, sod that. We are absolutely throwing these cars around here at some dirt oval racing. Qualifying has concluded. We'll run you through the grid for how irrelevant it's going to be. Toby Prosser ahead of Alex Meredith. Andrew Pike, Poundland himself. We'll get into some drillings of Andrew Pike as the race develops. Paracast will join him on row 2 ahead of Tom Davidson and Mark Sykes there in P6. Kieran Sharp ahead of Tom Buxton with Jamie Nuttall. Look out for him as he ascends through the field. David Barnes completes the top 10. Tiffany Toledano ahead of James Smags Gale, the top 6 rows ahead of Jamie Dory, Ben Altria, Jack Southfield, the Ginger Ninja rounding up the top 15 ahead, of course, of Grant Miller. Costa C, as he's given me permission to call him. He doesn't want people butchering his last name and just gives us Costa C as the way to go. Thomas Kana, who is an alias, of course, of Vyacheslav Volodya. He's sort of gone undercover in some of the recent races. Gurley Conchabo ahead of Hayden Miller, Oscar Soriso, and Matthew Cheverton at the back of the field. 22 cars line up behind the iRacing pace truck. It's going to be fun.
How did you pronounce Koska's surname?
I didn't.
The full?
I backed out of it.
Right, okay.
I call him Costa C. I'm going to give it a go. Chatsi Konstantinou. No, that is a tongue twister. I cannot say that full speed. Chatsi Konstantinou is what we're going with. But he will, for the entirety of this broadcast, be known as that guy in the Hooters livery, because big up the respect for that one with these guys going for pure memes out on the circuit.
Could you imagine, like, trying to explain that one to people when they're filling out your name? How long it would have to take him? If that is his full surname, of course, or if he's just memeing it, but I can imagine how difficult it would be. But anyway, guess what? It's derby time. We've already got a jump start.
Well, yeah, well, this is a start. the iRacing pace track hasn't even moved yet. I think they're going to get 2 formation laps, being as it's a shorter circuit. And, well, this is just exactly what we're in for. 30 laps, by the way, ahead of these guys. Biggles, I'd ask you for a prediction, but I don't really think there's much you can do in terms of predicting this race.
Yeah, one for the chat out there. Everybody wants to predict anything. Once again, it's just fun. I mean, at the moment, we're predicting they probably won't even get halfway around the first turn after we go green. I expect to be a lot of cars pointing backwards very soon.
Yes, likewise. It would be interesting to bet on this, actually, purely because the odds would just never, ever be in your favour. I mean, you could bet on a lap 1 spin, and that would probably get you 90p back on a pound stake.
Imagine picking a trifecta or something like that on this one.
Oh, yeah.
The top three, the odds. About 1 in 6.7 billion. All right.
Here we go, getting racing. It's Prosser ahead of Meredith as we get underway for 30 laps of pure memes here at the dirt oval of Lanier at Speedway. Prosser then is able to lead through turn 1, but looking in the background, and people are already ripping up the Geneva Convention. Kieran Sharp following through. Tiffany Toledano fighting with Jack Southfield as they complete the first lap, already into the books. Carnage, chaos this way and everywhere as Mark Sykes finds his way into the barrier. The grip is non-existent, and the respect on track is even lower. David Barnes just committing absolute atrocities on the circuit. There is the man himself, Andrew Pike, flying the flag for Poundland.
And yeah, believe it or not, so they're already starting to catch lap traffic at the moment there. Toby is leading this one. There's those two going for each other, slamming each other with the fence. It's also a key, isn't it? Like, you've got to be able to turn somebody, so you do that basically police maneuver, try to hit him at the back of the car and make him force him into a loop.
As everyone is working their way through quite nicely, it must be said, when it comes to... Apologies, Big Oz. I think we did just momentarily lose you, unless it was a skill issue on my part. Not entirely sure on that one. Already, by the way, a 1/6 of the way through. The laps are thick and fast with only 17 seconds. The possibilities for cautions are there, but they will probably only be done as... Oh my goodness me, Costa C just got absolutely thrown. Andrew Pike is stationary, some good moves there from David Barnes as he is trying to murder anyone in his sight. In the DeWalt livery, of course, trying to power his way through. The Wild Things livery just gets, well, that was a wild thing indeed. And David Barnes getting a taste of his own medicine off the back of turn 2.
So if we do race lead, I know Toby's still the lead at the moment. Alex is into P2 there. And here you go, Mr. Jack Southfield, believe it or not. He's up 12 positions. And Oscar, the cup car, right behind him, hounding him down. So I tell you, there's still some driving going here at the moment. But it's fluke as well too, isn't it?
No!
As he just says 17 at the moment. Just had to avoid the inside car, and now he's battling it out with...
he's gone. He's gone. Jack Southfield. Oh, my word. Oh, Jack Southfield is getting revenge. Every bad thing anyone has ever said about him, or the discrimination because of his hair color, or anything like that, Jack Southfield is now getting revenge for. I am so glad I'm not out on that circuit. As our pole sitter just got absolutely wiped. Car has been rolled. First one of the race that we've been able to catch on camera, and I think that might well have been Hayden Miller. I really hope these drivers have turned down their force feedback as much as humanly possible, because their wrists, I don't even want to imagine what would happen if you were on 100% force feedback with a direct drive wheel.
No, you wouldn't want it at all. Of course, you'd hopefully turn it off there. Toby is back in lead of this one. Alex is in P2. You saw, well, we got the pole at the moment. Percy's, he's currently at the moment in P3 there. Jack's still hanging in there. He dropped a couple of places, but obviously he got tagged there as well too. But there's the cop car doing number 10. We're getting down to, what, 20 laps to go? So, well, and this is just a matter of survival at its finest, isn't it? New leader, Alex.
Yeah, Meredith moving his way up from... Oh, there's a car on their roof again. Thankfully, these are tin-top cars, and you're not going to be breaking your neck at the first inconvenience of the car being on its roof, because if you get through this entire evening without going on your roof at least once, then you need to go and buy a scratch card or something along those lines. Not entirely sure as to who that is that has just been completely turned. Gergely Conchabo, the Hungarian driver. No one going for the high line to try and save that poor beach soul, as, oh my word, they're too busy trying to sort out. It's civil war at McDonald's, ladies and gentlemen, as Matthew Cheverton has, well, been outmacked by his compatriot and teammate in the fellow McDonald's livery. Tom Buxton then is running his way through, of course, one of the lapped bits of traffic, but you can't give up. Anything can happen to anyone at any time, as it's not a good day for McDonald's. Should have gone to Greg's. Yeah.
I was just trying to see. I'm trying to catch you as on the lid there, exactly, with the McDonald's livery. It's just, sorry, apologies for the cameras. It's not something, it's very easy to follow all the action here, as, yeah, the SDK is absolutely through the roof of the timing, of course.
We should probably go for a top-down view of the circuit.
Yeah, I'm thinking the blimp static, perhaps.
Like this. There we go. Boom. And we just—it's like one of those old retro arcade games that you used to play, where you would literally just be with a joystick, top-down, racing around a circuit. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the safest place within probably a 10-mile radius of the circuit, purely because I doubt any of the cars are going to be getting this high. And if they do, then that is a remarkable job. Just off the exit of turn 1 there, you can see what can happen. And I would just like to preface, I was about to say this doesn't represent what the Sim Racing Collective stands for, but I would be lying. This isn't what the Sim Racing Collective stands for 95% of the time. The other 95% of the time, it's clean racing, it's fun, championships, but this is the communal aspect. This is just a bunch of like-minded individuals with the same sadistic nature of just out-and-out war, blowing off some steam on a Friday night after a long week, and this is what they want to come and do with their very expensive iRacing memberships. Jack Southfield, he is never, ever going to be able to demonstrate such level of skill in his life again. He has used all of his talent up.
That was like a Bond movie, wasn't it? When, you know, the boats are coming together and you have to slip through them, or the trucks are coming together at the last minute, you're doing a stunt. Wow, I mean, yeah, I guess because of the amount of carnage out there, there's a good chance that you may be able to do that. Of course, Kieran Sharp, the boss man at the moment, I think he's got a fantastic livery because it's so creative there to have all the mud and dust.
What do you mean it's creative?
Well, you got to think all the other cars won't have that on there because there's no way they're not going to have a car 100% all the way through here without using a repair. See? Car's going to get dinged up, which means it's going to make it all shiny again. Of course, Karen's won't ever be. Toby's still in the lead. Somebody else is on the lid back there.
how on earth can you say Kieran Sharp has got the most creative livery on?
Oh,
No,
it's different
he's got on a
yeah.
white car, he's got on a bucket of dirt, chucked it on and gone, yeah, that'll do. Absolutely not. That is the laziest thing I've ever
creativity for
seen.
that.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, we do have some predictions out there. 5K pounds on Buxton. Well, that's Tom, Mr. Buxton down here. He's he's a few laps down, my friend. He was top last before, but not anymore. I think it's because Matthew is still Matthew in here. Yes, he is. There he is, going backwards. Maybe reversing all the way around here, but you can't do it too much. You might get DQ'd.
No, you're fine.
Yeah,
As long as you're
okay.
not going the wrong way, you can reverse. It's fair game.
Ah, okay.
Would be cool. I see. Damage isn't on, but I would love for this race to have damage on. Purely because I just think it would be an absolute laugh. Toby Prosser then is fighting his way around. He's only got 8 laps left to go in this race, and for hopefully a good reason for him, as we'll then head into the second 30-lap race and then head into the 80-lap feature. Prosser has probably been the only driver as to not be involved in some remarkable shenanigan, purely because he started on pole and he's still leading the way. Somehow he's managed to deal with all the carnage. I don't understand how. Luck, divine intervention, him being Jesus himself, I do not know. But I think it's just the general aura of the McDonald's livery that's saving him.
Oh, but then again, he could get tagged by his...
Oh,
there
no.
it is! So you
No.
spoke... There's your commentator's coincidence right there. And I was going to think too, because while speaking in the green room before about how I used to commentate for a season there of Wreckfest, and League was doing that, which is quite fun. And sometimes you see drivers that manage to be quite well to be very lucky to avoid a lot of these collisions. But in this case as well too, when you get down to the business end, my friend, you then become a big target because the rest of the drivers around you go, I've got to take out the race leader just like that. See, try their absolute best so that you got a chance to win it. And tell you what, Consabo right now came out of absolutely nowhere. This man's 17 positions gained, and he could just cut past the leader right there. Yes, it is. So Toby goes behind. Pole's the new leader. And, well, business end, my friend. If he can make this Wild Things machine sing, he's got the first win. For fun.
Well, yeah, it's he's doing a good job. Let's put it that way. It takes some. To be fair, I mean, all things considered, as long as you're out there, you're having fun, but also even as a training tool, I mean, this is certainly something to sort of develop your reflexes. I might be thinking about it too deeply there, but again, if you just want to come out and have a laugh and just try and avoid as many people as you can, it's traffic simulator basically. And these guys definitely not doing the best of jobs as to dealing with each other. 2
He's
laps
got
left
pole.
to go.
There, got
Conchabo
pole.
is into the lead.
Yeah, there's Pole at the moment. He's lost it because he was up into the fence there and it was really struggling to grip. But there you go, trying to tag out the race leader, give everybody else an opportunity. Pole could come back around. He has taken the lead of this one. No, he hasn't because he's had a spin. So they've gone around. This will give the opportunity for Tom. There's Tom a little bit further back on the field here. So in the dying stage is the last lap of this race. Look at that. Toby needs to get it out of the fence there. Tom's going to be slipping past right now. Tom's got the lead.
And he's going to come around the final corner, and he is going to nick the win from the McDonald's livery of our pole sitter Toby Prosser. What a race from Davidson to snatch it right
last
at
lap.
the last corner. Is it the last lap now? I thought it was the
Yes.
last lap last
No.
lap.
Toby's
Oh, no.
back in, lead.
Toby's back.
If he can
He's
hold
gonna
it.
snatch it.
No, he's gonna be
Davidson's gonna pit
spun.
maneuver him. And then here comes Perikas, I think, maybe trying to slice their way through. Davidson just able to hang on, but it's not
Conchabo.
enough. Gurgley Conchabo then on the low side is then going to take the checker flag here for race number 1. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Southfield somehow bringing it across in P2. What? Well, yeah, that is what we're in store for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute carnage, absolute chaos. And this is what we want to see. Paul Parakas then able to round off in P3. But, well, there we go. People, as Handsome Stu have been saying, people definitely are going to be hurting their wrist with blowing off some good old steam. As we'll bring you up the final race results of race 1. The grid for race 2 is going to be a full reverse grid, so we'll bring you that as soon as we can. There they are. Conchabo from Southfield, Perikas from Davidson, Prosser, our pole sitter, snatched away at the dying stage, with Andrew Pike there in 6th. Alex Meredith from Sharp, Kana and Soristo, the top 10. Toledano from Dory, Nuttall, Smag Scale, and Mark Sykes. Hayden Miller, after telling us he's turned his full speed back all the way down in 16th. From Buxton, 5k down the drain there, unfortunately for Martin, and then of course all the way down from the rest of the field. But the grid is flipped, so it'll be Barnes, Altria, Miller, Cheverton, and Costa C that will start from pole position. We've just read the results. They are going to be flipped. We'll let the grid run its way through before we go for, well, exactly what we've just done all over again, with a reverse grid, so therefore some more carnage as well.
So, Zach, what I liked is what you said about before. Perhaps we could have a little bit of a chat to the boss man after this race, heat, right? Because we spoke about that at the start, of course, of our race info. We're going to have the heat one and the heat two and then the feature. I wonder if we could talk to the boss man. I don't know if he could be able to switch up the sessions during it, but I said about that having that damage turned off. So for the final feature race. I don't know. It would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Oh.
Unfortunately, I think that they'd have to reset the whole
They have to reset
session.
the server. Yeah, that might be a little bit too difficult. But we don't know. Maybe we'll talk to Karen about that after this. Briefly. If we have time. You never know. That'd be. What about for you drivers out there as well, too? Because that's just going to be survival of the fittest, isn't it? You're really going to have about 3 cars finish at best. You'd have to turn off the cautions, of course. So you'd have to turn off the pace
nice.
car.
Our pole sitter is round and dead before the race has even started. Of course, that is Costa Chatze Constantinou, the pole sitter, the driver with the easiest to mess up last name in the history of sim racing. In fact, actually, that's not true. There is someone else out there that I've had to commentate on. Very nearly have gotten me cancelled should I have messed up even one syllable of his name.
Wow.
Yes, it's. I'll message it purely because there's no way I'm going to get away with saying it again because someone somewhere will take it out of context. Lap 2, of course, we're not on lap 2. Well, we are. We're rolling our way around, but it is a second formation lap. We are going to get ourselves under racing. Wait, actually no. Hang on. We're under caution. What? The race has started. Apparently.
Yes, but it seems to be it's under manual caution. So let's just double check that I haven't actually messed up anything here.
Well, that's something. I think maybe.
No, there's
just
a pace truck out there. They've thrown a manual caution, no doubt. Yeah, it's a pace truck there, so it's not me. Here we go, green.
Green flag, green flag.
There we go, back underway as Costa C leads the race going into turn 1. They're 3 wide as Miller and Cheverton fight their way through. Cheverton takes the lead of the race then, but the up and under is there from Costa C, who finds his way on the inside of Miller, who's having an absolute nightmare. Underneath goes, of course, Ben Altria. Not seen too much carnage, but of course, just you wait. It will be coming very, very shortly. Some top tier banner, it must be said, in the TSRC YouTube chat as well. Martin, top tier joke. Honestly, that was fantastic. Lap 2 of 30 then. I think we've finally managed to sort out what's been going on with the race. There's the top down view of the Wreckfest out on circuit. But as things stand, Cheverton is able to lead by a good 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, just set up the fastest lap as well too. So not bad at all.
Keeping things, I'd say fairly tame, but it's not been. Thank goodness for that. And yeah, as Handsome Stu just did put it, you can definitely keep your $5,000 after that one. Jack Southfield has just been murdered in a show of protest against the UK police force there from a rogue martyr of some sort, as of course Jack Southfield trying this race on slick tyres, most of them on the wets. So, of course, treaded and a little bit more grip compared to the slick tyres. But Jack Southfield, without a soul, of course, is thinking that he's going to go for some absolute memes. And to be fair, it worked for him in race 1 because he finished P2. But that's besides the point. It's the only time that man will ever finish second. Of course, take that how you will. Ban Altria goes to the low side as the man tries to fight his way through, of course, just on the back end of the top 10 as they all get very frisky going into the apex of turn 1. And, well, damage would well be inevitable as there it is. Your luck will run out as there we go, flying all over the place. Yeah, welcome to the TSRC.
How's it feel up there? You know it's inevitable. Get your force feedback turned off. Look at that. It's just that chilling. Hit me, she says. Come on, this is the only time I actually want somebody to collide win with me. There you go. Finally, at the moment, the boss man hits him. But still, hasn't turned him. That's the only frustrating thing, isn't it? At the moment, you're like, God, it's almost impossible to avoid hitting another car. Yet when you're sitting on your roof like that, on your lid, nobody's coming to hit you.
Pretty much. Basically, anyone that gets turned upside down has just channeled their inner Aussie momentarily. If for those that, of course, believe in Australia, I know there are a couple of people out there that don't. As Altria is there, again, now firmly inside the top 10, inside the top 5 is, oh my goodness me, the McDonald's liveried machines are just on one. Ronald McDonald, there's no 2p charity pot at the tills for them guys today. They are scorching their way through and trying to get revenge for all of those false Just Eat returns. Have you ever done that with a sort of an order, just said that there was something missing to get a refund?
Oh, I'm sure you could. Yeah, no, I never had
No,
to.
have you?
No.
I do it all the time. So much so that Just Eat won't give me a refund anymore because I've done it so often. So now I just call up McDonald's and they just lazily give you a code that you give to the till for managers and stuff, and that sorts you out for 2 free meals. Of course, I wouldn't recommend doing that, and I definitely haven't ever done that.
Oh, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here.
There we go. Oh, bonks.
If they do work together, you can literally block the track.
Oh, absolutely.
And then just, no way for anybody to get through there. That way you get to completely change the lead of this race if you wanted.
If we just got a coalition of 5 drivers to go 5 wide, no one would get through. I want to see that. Someone please, if any drivers are watching along, please send, sort of listen in and find 4 other friends. I know for some, Jack Southfield, that might be a little bit hard, but sort it out. Get 5 drivers, or however many it is, as there goes Smag Scout, clearly not a fan of McDonald's there, as, oh my word, he's just getting absolutely drilled out on circuit. Coming into this broadcast, I said to Kieran, I was like, so it's a bit of banter, I don't have to be professional, I can rinse and drill into whoever I like. And he was like, yeah, please do. I don't think I have to. I think these drivers are doing them for themselves.
I think you're 100% correct on that one. As they're having fun, and thankfully, as you said, turn their force feedback down, because that's the only time you're actually going to get injured in this wreck fest, essentially, of a race that we're having here. It's the banger race for the TSRC, and at the moment, well, it's a matter of survival. And you see, Tom Buxton, well, if you bet your 4K quid on that 5K quid on that previous race, you might have picked a winner. But to really pick a winner, you've got to pick the top 3 here. I'm gonna give it to the trifecta. All right. We'll give somebody. I'll give somebody a PayPal, but 10 quid or something like that if somebody picked the trifecta. But you have to do it at the start of your one. It's a little bit daylight dollar short right now. Oh, not necessarily, but we are. No, it is, because in fact the top 5 have now lapped the rest of the field.
See, I think Martin has delayed his 5K bet for Tom Buxton for race 2, because he is now leading the way by a good 10 seconds. If anyone can guess the podium of the 80-lap feature race, I will buy you 10 items from Poundland.
Oh,
and
wow.
You'd think that would be £10, but it's not. It would probably be in the range of maybe 15 quid for 10 items, purely because that Poundland is no longer Poundland. It's the £1.50 or the £1.25 or the £1.75, or even they're selling things for like a £5 now. It's preposterous. Inflation has ruined the Poundland in the UK, but it's fine, because I'm sure surely it's the same elsewhere, with dollar stores and things no longer actually being dollar stores and instead being the dollar and a dime or something. I don't know. Nonetheless, Meredith now leads from Thomas Kana as Buxton is down, and 10 laps left to go, or 11 laps left to go, and people are here, there and everywhere. Buxton is half a lap down and just getting absolutely targeted. It's almost like they don't want Martin to win his 5K.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, somebody got turned. I was just wondering if nobody's using the inside pit lane area that we saw during the practice when they were messing around as well, too, because you could just completely go through there, right? Unless they're told not to. That red car, the shiny red one you saw before that the leader's about to lap, the one that's just gone into the fence there. That's Thomas, I think. No, they got pushed into that. See, that's a tiny little runoff area that's off the side of the track there. That's kind of a little cage area you could slam a car into. That'll definitely cost them a lot of time to get out of there. You can see at the top of the pictures there. That's where you want to get a car jammed. I'm surprised, actually, how well iRacing have done this, where no cars got caught on a fence or a catch fence or anything like that, too, that sometimes happens on regular tracks.
I think this would firmly tick off many a health and safety violation should this have been a real life race. But then again, stock car racing and people go sort of banger racing with bare bones of it, like there's basically nothing left of the car and people still go hurling around. So to be fair, I actually think this probably would be a real life race. Maybe not in Toyota GR86s, maybe something a little bit less expensive, or something completely expendable like a Fiat 500, because there are too many of them on the road and we need to get rid of as many as possible. So chuck them on a derby and just have at it, basically. But nonetheless, I would love to see that, actually. A Fiat 500 derby, that would be...
What about Volkswagen Beetle? Are they the most common car in the world?
No, because that's actually a nice car.
That's a nice car,
and
actually,
it's got some history and it's got some heritage. A Fiat 500 is just a polished turd, if that. And it is the absolute worst thing ever to possibly exist, ever. Full stop, really. Nonetheless, Meredith, up 15 places from the start of this race, ahead of
somebody almost tagged him. Yeah.
Who is trying to get some redemption for race one.
And this is it. They have to block him here. Oh, he gets through. Only has a handful of laps to go here, which you might say in a regular race, well, that's no problem, it's job done. But in a derby like this, it's now you got a big target painted on your back there. See, there you go. Got to try to turn him. Brilliant job done. Double turn. Slam him, making sure Alex is facing the wrong way. See, this is it. This is where you have to work together to see if you can get Jamie to catch up. There's Jamie, currently at the moment in P2. There's Alex. I don't know why it's saying... Is he already a lap down on everybody else then? Alex is. You might have this one in the bag. Jamie's up the road there. So, yeah.
Maybe.
It is, I'd say, because there's Paul. He's doing another fantastic job, actually. As well as Kinsabo. He's actually still in there. Toby as well, too. So, familiar names back up at the front end of even a Wreckfest. But Alex, a couple more laps to go. This is when you really have to gang up on him.
Yeah, this is when you just sort of just go for the leader, basically, nothing more than that. You basically just do everything in your power to stop the person who's currently leading from winning. Doesn't matter who they are, what beef you've got with them, you stop them from winning and you let anyone else possible win this race. It's like you've just been blue shelled in Mario Kart, effectively, as Meredith will now start his 30th and final lap of the race. They are giving it a go. White flag is waved. Let's see what Meredith can do with 2 more corners to go.
He's got it, I think, because everybody else is a lap down. Jamie is behind him as a lap down. So they didn't do enough at the start, gentlemen. But congratulations, of course, to Alex, who's going to get the job done. And, of course, that's the luck of the draw, too, isn't it? It's like a lucky dip because he managed to escape a lot of those and bang, crosses the line, 15 places gained. Number 8 gets it done.
Beautifully done from Meredith then. That was probably the cleanest race that we've ever seen and will ever see in this format of racing. We'll run you through the final results as soon as we can, but we hope you have enjoyed the coverage thus far. If you have got any insults or anything really to say to any of these drivers, get it out now. This is the rage room of sim racing. This is the rage race out here with these guys for the Sim Racing Collective. Meredith from Dorian Pericas, who's been a consistent runner at the front. Toby Prosser goes up from one place from his finishing position in race 1, ahead of Gergely Conchavo, the top 5. Tom Buxton up there in 6th, getting ever closer to that win and potentially a $5,000 stake in the betting hall. Toledano ahead of Davidson, Cheverton and Sharp, the top 10 from Andrew Pike, Thomas Kana, Oscar Soristo, Altria, Smagscale, Sykes, Costa, C, Nuttall, Southwood, Miller, Barnes, and Hayden Miller, the 22nd and final driver, but strategically putting himself on pole position for the 80-lap feature race here at Lanier National Speedway. 80 laps. We've done 60. 60's in the books. We've got 80 more. We're not even halfway done with the racing action just yet.
Oh, well, this is where it's going to be interesting because you don't want to let people get too far away because when you get a couple of laps down, that's going to be very difficult to make that up. So I think drivers are aware of that after our first little heat qualifiers. As Handsome Steve says, I wish I was a racer. I could get out here and race this probably on a keyboard and a mouse. Zach was even speaking about racing this one, just for racing and commentating, because it's just a whole bunch of fun, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? we can't have to take any of this seriously. So, I mean, why not, my friend? And just get in there and give it a shot, because you don't have to be quick. You just have to be very lucky and try to avoid as many incidents as possible. Have some fun.
I'd just be there trying not to shout profanities as to still retain the PG status of this channel. Exactly. You would probably just have to have that as static for the whole broadcast if it was me driving, because I would be throwing this and that and everything at everyone. In a joking manner, of course, not maliciously, apart from Jack Southfield. He deserves it. And Andrew Pike, actually. He also deserves it. For no other reason than he's Andrew Pike. But nonetheless... yeah, I was thinking about it because it's free content. I just have to pay £8. But never in my life, when I decided to become a commentator, did I ever think that I would be paid to do something like this. This is the peak of my commentary career. It will never, ever get better than this.
Wow, that's saying a lot at your young age, my friend. Really?
It can't.
Right.
I've worked with Formula E. I've commentated on Max Verstappen. I've made a transition into real life racing. I've done it all. This is the peak. It will never ever get better than this. Purely because it's just carnage. It's chaos, and I get to rinse in to some of the most susceptibly easy to drill into drivers possible. Like, what's there not to love?
That's true, actually. You get to pick on race drivers. I mean, you could pick on Max Verstappen, of course, when you're commentating, can't you? I mean, you might not get get the job back again, but go for it. I mean, he'd probably have a giggle in the background anyway. When he's using his racing sim on his plane, his private jet or something like that. We don't know.
His motorhome.
His motorhome?
Actually.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have it on the plane.
Oh, yet? But he probably will in the future.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
I was going to say, do you reckon we could drag in the boss man, Karen Sharp, for a bit of a chin wagon? Because he can't really be taken, I mean, seriously. I mean, can you? I mean, he doesn't have to focus, does he? Just turn left, turn right.
It's Karen Sharp. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, he said we could do anything. He said we have free range, didn't he? As we're going to go into the evening as well, too, for this feature race, as you said. 80 laps, big ones. What do you reckon about fuel, pit stops, tyre strategies? Any strategies?
No. It's the strategy is don't die. Because that's all you can do. Of course, you can see it is starting to dim around the circuit as we get the spotlight of the headlights of these Toyota GR86s, as people are nearly a lap down before the race has even possibly started. The iRacing pace truck somehow brings it into pit lane, cutting off all the drivers. We go green then for 80 laps here at Lanier Speedway. Nuttall is able to take the lead off the bounce. In fact, actually, no, it's Miller that's able to get a good run. Of course, as the DeWalt car of Barnes gets absolutely shafted. Jack Southfield then takes the lead of the race. It is showing Jamie Nuttall as far ahead. I think he might well have just floored it around the outsiders. Ben Altria gets, well, that is, there's no altruism in this race. Far from it out there. Jamie Nuttall, I think, will have a penalty to serve. Handsome Stu, I'm surprised you haven't already got that downloaded. It's going to come up when you go to, it's going to be the cloud with the little down arrow symbol on the App Store, or whatever it is equivalent to you. I don't know what phone you use or whatever, but that's what it's going to be. Nonetheless, underway, already trying to start lap 4 of this race, and we've got to do that 19 more times.
Telemetry is completely all over the place at the moment. I can't actually catch who is in the lead of this race while it's trying to figure itself out, because it was saying you had a lap down. No, it's getting really confused right now. I'm getting super confused. It doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day until we get closer to the 80s. Anything goes. Saying Karen Sharp's in the lead of this one currently at the moment. Is the Sharpster getting it done there? Oh, he gets turned. And he's the boss man, of course, so no doubt he's got a big target painted on the back of his car.
Pretty much. So too is this man, Jack Southfield, because he is UK public enemy #1 at this point in the police livery. It's a shame that he hasn't got any lights on the top, because some sirens would be very, very cool. But nonetheless, we don't have them. Jamie Nuttall gets swamped and into the front of Southfield. That's going to allow Davidson and Dory to all find their way past us. Here we go, nice little battle for the lead, it must be said. with that's David Barnes just committing again some atrocities in the DeWalt machine. Of course, DeWalt making some power tools, so he is quite literally drilling into these power drivers. Into these drivers out there. As he's well, maybe they are power drivers. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past. Actually, no, I wouldn't give that to many drivers out there being power drivers as such. Potentially the complete opposite, as here's Jamie Dory showing his love to Mark Sykes on the rear wing of his livery. So some weird attributes out there with the liveries this evening.
And the Hooters machine just let him go all around the outside there as well too. Jack Southfield in the P2, hunting him down there with those police lights. Turn him on there, my friend. Pull over. I did that in a British accent. I love your reference there to the power tools, because I use DeWalt power tools a lot actually over here, and they're very good. Got practically everything at the theatre as well too. We got like a miter saw, a jigsaw, a circular saw that's all battery operated as well too, and all the battery switch, even a whippersnapper, like, you know, cut your grass with. Got everything, my friend. And, good stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. DeWalt is good.
That's right.
Purely as well with the everyone moving away from air tools as well recently in the industry. So battery power is the one to go with pure power, as Andrew Pike spearing his way into the barrier, and that was something worthy of it. There we go. Just gets
they're holding him up. Look at that. Exactly. Just
he's getting a 2-for-1 deal here at Powerland with
not letting him anywhere.
He's just been absolutely shafted on the same straight. No regard for driver safety as he rejoins the circuit. Andrew Pike then is able to get back going once more as he gets swamped by here, there, and everywhere. Thomas Kahner, of course, is in fact Vyacheslav Volodya as we land towards the conclusion of the TSRC F4 Championship. Back at the front, though, Southfield in second on the back of Kieran Sharp.
Bang!
It's a ginger 1-2.
Way around. There you go. That's how you do it. That's the police maneuver. Right there on the boss man. I wanted to say something to you briefly for a second there. I completely forgot what it was, my friend. Oh, I was going to say bumper carring. And you all been on bumper cars, right?
Yeah.
Or dodgem cars, whatever you call them. Bumper cars, And that's when you keep slamming somebody into the side wall like that, so they just can't escape. That's what you need to be doing. Oh, big roll smash in the back there, sorry.
I spend most of my time, obviously you turn the steering wheel all the way either left or right and you start going backwards. I just spend the whole time going backwards because I did it once in year 6 by accident. I thought I was the real cool kid going backwards, and now I just do it all the time for fun because I usually have my little brother or sister next to me in the car and they love it. So I just go backwards the whole time and end up spearing into people because there's no head-on collisions. So I can do whatever I like if I'm going backwards because no collision is head-on technically.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can just absolutely murder people. Not literally, of course. At least I hope not.
Better how you drive in racing sims too, isn't it?
Well, no, exactly. That's fair enough. That's why Deegan Fairclough is now in British F4 and I'm not, because I was in the same competition at the same point in both the same races, and he's now championship leader in British F4 in 2024, and I get to talk about these drivers. I don't know if we can call it driving. I don't know what we can call this.
Oh, they're going to tag him at the moment. Jack Suffolk gets through. So they're not working hard enough here. You can see at the moment there's Kieran Sharp. Kieran Sharp's got to try to turn into him here. No, Kieran Sharp quite get it. Remember, too, at full speed, it's not easy just to yank somebody into that because these aren't easy to drive even if you're trying to drive them properly and not just crash into everybody. But the way that Jack's going at the moment, he may start getting a lap up on somebody, and that's what you want to do. Get 20 laps down, 60-something and change to go. You don't want to start going, because now, to let you know, Zach, sorry, the top 4 have now lapped everybody else in the field. So, big smash.
Well, no, it's the top 3 now. Is
yes.
Actually, no, it's Nip and Tuckers.
Oh.
What on earth is
What's
going
that?
on the exit of turn 3? There's a little alcove, of course, for emergency vehicles and things, and people are still ending up there. Oh my word! Everyone here, there, everywhere. They go through the exit of turn 1. Andrew Pike is flat out. I think. That is why pensioners should not be allowed on the road. He is probably paying £10 a year in insurance. Meanwhile, I'm paying £300 a month for mine, with a black box as well, which is extortionate. But Andrew Pike, he needs to get his eyes tested. Short vision and slow reaction times there for the old guys. And that is why there's so much carnage out on circuit. You can see they're 6 wide going into T1 from up above. And what I love is the fact that it's just like a rave. with how many headlights are spinning 90 degrees and 180 degrees at one point.
Yeah, you're right, isn't it?
We need to get some good music. We need to maybe get some LED lights in the front of these GR86s so we can
Oh,
really
you
have a good
know
time.
that a few years back, I built a whole Formula 1 logo out of LED lights. Nobody's ever seen that before. It's actually on my YouTube video. It took me a while to drill. It's a full board, plywood. Bang! I cut it out there and drilled all the holes for the LED lights, and then I have it all in a synchronization to go to the Formula 1 theme music. Here we go. I saw this T pushing. We saw that during the practice session. Actually, they could push a car all the way around, like a T-bone. And Jack Southfield's going to be, well, that's it. They're working together now because we have a new race leader, of course. Ben, Toby is back up there. Bang, well, he's T-bone. They're starting to work together now, Zach. And remember we told them before about trying to block the whole section of the road? They're starting to do that as well, too, the track.
Yellow flag.
Oh, we have a caution.
Oh, there we go.
We have a
The
caution.
manual caution has been thrown to tidy things up. Bunch everyone back up again. Give those that were killed a revival and get them back in the race. So they are going to be throwing these momentarily throughout the race. Of course, they can't do it on pure damage and debris on the circuit because there is none. So it is purely at the discretion of the race directors and things like that to just at a moment's notice press a button. I don't know if Kieran Sharp is in control of it or whoever is pressing the buttons to throw these cautions, but nonetheless, there is one out on circuit. I'd say everyone is going to bunch up, but I don't think they are, purely because this is just a golden opportunity for them to effectively line each other up and very aggressively rear-end each other.
Well, it's good because if drivers start getting too many laps down and stuff like that, it gets, it's fun, but it gets too difficult for anybody to even have any opportunity of having some fun to at least win this. So you're going to bunch people back up there, probably get a chance to unlap themselves, maybe even. I was going to see if we can get the boss man himself, but I can't see him in any chats. So maybe you'll have to send him a DM or something like that, my friend, and say, oi, do that, my Aussie. Oi, mate, get in here and get a bit of a chin wagging, all right? Because this is a fun event.
That is true. I think we are going back green once again, as there we go. The pace truck is in. Altucher from Southwood and Prosser, and then Sharp make up the top four. As well, the caution's not really done much for the trajectory of this race. All it is just those at the front avoiding those at the back, and those at the back trying to be as big of an annoyance as possible to those that are trying to win out in front. Of course, this is all for fun and for games and bit of pride, bit of ego, bit of, I'm going to get you back for that time you punted me at turn one at Fuji when it was really wet or something. I don't know. I just remember Quinten van Wingerden murdering a couple of people in the F4 Championship. Of course, van Wingerden not racing today, but if he was, I'm sure he would have a big target on his back. But I would like them, even if it's just a £5 prize for winning the race. How different people would drive, or if it would just be exactly the same with an added bonus of the lucky winner getting a £5.
You called it, my friend. Absolutely. This is your revenge time to take out anybody that you've had a mess with all season long. Karen's really throwing that car in there at the moment, taking the inside line. You want to hug the inside open, I'd say, as much as possible, because if you do see where most of the incidents are, it is on the outside. If you are obviously really trying, at least semi-trying, to get some speed up there. I know that your best friend, Zach Southfield, here at the moment is doing some good job. Ben in the lead here at the moment. About cars unlapping themselves, they didn't get a chance to unlap themselves. A few of them did. If you go back to this man, Gonzalo, he's the one that's a lap down currently at the moment, P9. The rest of the field there. Here we go.
Yeah, Jack Southfield going to be flashing his lights and avoiding Barnes there. Nicely held as he gets a nice little Scandi flick. Style points then for Southfield in the police car, but closely followed by about 4.5 seconds by Ben Altucher. And that might be a big gap on a good day or on a normal circuit with normal rules, but when it comes to this championship, or not this championship, this one-off event that we've got, it is firmly a close gap at the front. As there we ride on board with Kieran Sharp. What's paint? What's real dirt? Kieran Sharp, of course, very clearly
it's clean.
Not willing to get his hand dirty
He just got it polished.
with the cars, because he's just lazily smacked as much of the dirt on as he can, as the Night continues to gloom as Kieran Sharp gets completely driven into, wiped out. I think we need to go through the replay and just have a highlight reel of all the crashes and vote on the best one, the biggest one, the one with the most collateral damage, at the very least, or the one with the most or the lowest likelihood of survival. Maybe I don't know. That should be an award of this race.
Oh yeah, I would have to see if we get that. I'm sure the boss man will save that replay as well too and go through that for highlight reels. See, what I thought was really clever there, because here's the flying Finn, and to him he's like, hey, this is just driving on regular streets in Finland. Like, this is not difficult for me at all. It's slippery and icy, and he's like, there it is. But what I saw him before when he was having that battle with Karen Sharp, you see he lifted off a little bit, like Karen to get through there, and then tagged him. And this has got nowhere to go. How did he? Oh no, he almost. And then at that point, it was like, he deliberately did that so he could tag him, turn him. Is the key word I was looking for, turning, and then that way take the advantage of it. That's clever play. Even in a fun carnage session like this, there is some strategy. Apart from just staying alive.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, oh, there we go. There's the Hooters getting a good. Nice bang. And there we go. Another one. Andrew Pike probably getting the best bang that he's had in a good couple of years, I'm sure, as Jack Southfield rounds into turn 1 and is comfortably leading the race. Tom Buxton, though, he's not going to be winning this race. He's in the pits. I don't know if Martin is going to get his 5K back. I think he's wasted his money. I've got to be honest. That 40 of 80. And that's it. What has happened there? Costa C with the, well, with that basically. James Smagscale as well.
Those two, the McDonald's livery. It's certainly not teammates. There's 3 McDonald's actually cars out there.
They have been down each other's throats.
And your friend leading this one from Oscar. I think Oscar gave him a little bit of run for his money right there. Now there's Oscar further back. Jack Southfield is leading currently in the police car, and now this is what they're trying to do. No, he managed to avoid that. Oh, they're trying to back up into him. The target on his back right now, just over halfway through this race, this derby more than anything about a race, is Jack Southfield. I was going to say your name for a second there.
No, please don't offend me like that, Dean. No, that is unacceptable. Oh, of course, Martin put 5K on Buxton to lose.
Oh,
now that is going to get a return of maybe 4.9K if you're lucky. You lose money on a bet like that, purely because the odds are effectively over certain. Jack Southfield is then getting absolutely targeted. I don't know if you've ever watched a film called Speed Racer.
Yeah. The Speed Racer one, right? From the Japanese anime series. But there's maybe I love it. Yeah, Go Speed Racer.
Yeah,
Speed Racer.
Exactly.
Yep.
I watched it last night. It's one of my childhood favorites.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I haven't got it tattooed on me somewhere. But nonetheless, it just reminded me of right at the end of the film with the Grand Prix, where the big bad guy says $1 million to the driver that can take out Speed Racer. I feel like that is a similar situation as to what's going on with Jack Southfield, because everyone seems to have their eyes on him, and not in the way that he would be hoping for, unfortunately. And I did put a bounty on him, actually. I put in the Discord 35p to the man that makes Jack Southfield rage quit. Unfortunately, he's still going.
He's going to get smacked here. Bang. And that's good, clever there for the McDonald's livery machine there. But he's still got some pace for it. He's still managing it. I think the key is as well, too, is just it's speed. It's like Go Speed Racer, isn't it? But now they've got to start tagging. They're still going to work together. There you go. Turn him once, and then somebody needs to give a nice T-bone. Bang, and they do. The Poundland is like, take that. I'll give you a pound of T-boning. And see, there it is. There's your Zach driving his bumper cars method. Oh, you do it.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, he is bulletproof. He's surviving this. They got to turn him, and they got to keep him turned in the opposite direction, because he's on the loud pedal, my friend. He's down the road there. Oscar is in the lead, so Oscar managed to get through there, but look at that. Oscar to get through the gag on the cars, and then get caught up there, which will bring, of course, your best buddy back in the lead.
Yeah, there he is. At the moment, doing a fantastic job as to fend off all of those that are trying to beat him down in this race. He has done a brilliant job. We've got 30 laps left to go. We've ticked nearly onto lap 50 of 80, and then it'll only be a case of
and he turns
31 as he... That was
that's it. They're going to trap him in there.
malice, but karma has struck Jack Southfield. He went for Andrew Pike, and in the end, well, found the barrier. There's Barnes reversing just to go into the back of him, and because you've got no grip, there's nothing you can do to react, because you try and turn, and it's you got to turn right to go left.
You got to put him in the timeout area. I call it a timeout box on the side. I think that's going to be clever. If you could push a driver up into there, and then somehow try to hold him in there, at least you can have him maybe drop a lap or so and bring the other players into play, because the other players are P4 down that have all been lapped. And the way that Jack Southfield at the moment is kind of riding away with this one. Oscar's the only one really going to keep him at bay. Toby's a little bit further down the field. That's the way you got to work together, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. With about 20-something laps to go, we want it to be fun. We want it to everybody could possibly win this one. We don't want anybody to be too far down there, because hey, it's what it's all about, having fun. Oscar's into the fence there a little bit. Once you're up there, my friend, you're almost sucked into it like a vacuum cleaner.
Pretty much, yeah. 53 of 80, ticking on the laps mightily quick, as Southfield getting very close to the inside barrier there, pushing the limits and finding some pace, sweating it out to go and get this victory, because it might well be his only one that he's able to go and do. I do love that little, I like how you put it, the little timeout area, the sin bin on the exit of
There's two of them, right?
turn... oh no, there is. Yeah, there's one going into turn 2, then one coming out of turn 2. I'm surprised we've not had people camp there. Just park the car.
Oh
and
yeah,
just poke their nose out a little bit,
and then
just to try and catch people out,
or gas it and T-bone somebody on it. That's
like,
not a bad idea.
Like those videos of alligators and crocodiles, like sat stagnant in the water, just floating, and then waiting to jump out at someone. I'm surprised.
Or that game of, like, you know, Happy Hippos, whatever it's called there, where the whole nose
Hungry
comes
Hippos.
out. That's it. It snaps it and then pulls it away. This is going to show you. We do have a couple of drivers on the inside. Remember I was telling you about that inside apron, the pit road area? They're just going around. You can see 2 of them. 3 of them, actually. Using the inside apron there and just having their own little race, which is quite fun.
Of course, not going to be counting to the overall laps of this race.
Oh, they wouldn't?
And will be getting themselves penalties, I think, for speeding. So I think they're just there to have a bit of fun. Oscar Soristo, P2 in this race, has been beached because Andrew Pike has had a word with him, sorted him out, and has then gone on his own merry way. Down in P15 is Andrew Pike. He's spoiling other people's success because he can't go and get it himself. Parasite that man is.
There it
is into the side of Jack Southfield.
Yes.
It's caused absolute turmoil. Could we see a change for the race lead? I don't think so, actually, because Jack Southfield is the best part of a lap ahead. So I think he's actually been able to get away quite nicely. There is Tomasz Kana, of course, Vyacheslav Volodya, the Estonian driver that we've come to know and love, in a very Japanese livery. It's the one that you see in the Toyota, I think it's the AE86, isn't it?
Gazebo Racing. It might sit on the back ring. Is that it? Gazoo, not gazebo. Gazoo.
Yeah. The Toyota, obviously factory team and things, racing the BTCC, WEC, but I think he's got the team on the rear wing, but that livery itself is very reminiscent of what you'd see on the Toyota AE86, which I think is basically this car's like older brother or something.
Come Zach on the inside. Sorry, Jack got the
I'm
Zach back.
I'm Zach. This is Jack.
Oh,
don't
wow.
you
Look at that behind him.
Nice one.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to be... I unfortunately can't speak Japanese, but there's a great iRacing Japanese Super Formula League as well. That they're quite fun. Do you practice your... get your Japanese up there. Get you in there, Zach, for some commentating. And it's very popular, of course, because it's in Japan. And Super Formulas, you love those Super Formulas, right? And God, they can really... Oh, how does he avoid everything? How does Jack avoid everything that's going on around him? It's barely getting tagged. What are these drivers doing him? Just letting him just drive on by like a, grandma on a Friday evening down the M4 highway or whatever you have in UK?
Yeah, we have motorways.
Motorways.
That are dubbed the I think is there an M4?
M1s, M2s, I don't know, something like that, but it starts
Yeah.
with M probably.
Yeah, no, they do, because obviously M stands for motorway. We have got them, and yeah, maybe I don't know if Jack Southwood's old enough to. I think I don't know if he's older than me. He must be, but nonetheless, he is out there. He may well have driven on a motorway before. I don't know. I honestly I've never spoken to him.
Sure, he's
so,
been on one. It's more at the point. He's going to get turned there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're misturning him. What's going on there? You got to allow these.
They're not
You got to allow
trying
these
hard
other
enough.
drivers.
I think they feel sorry for him more than anything. They feel bad for him. Oscar Soristo, by the way, I did think that was a Halo livery. Of course, the writing on the front wing has just proven it. He's having a nice little ding-dong battle here with the 22. Of course, that's Tiffany Toledano, the Spanish / Portuguese driver.
Oh, Jack's
wow!
around.
Soristo wow. Southwood goes round, of course, but what I was more interested in is Soristo just going for a nice little Scandinavian flick going into turn 2. Now that was good. There's our new race leader, though, of Thomas Kana.
Yeah, he's got it. And, well, it's still early days, of course, 15 to go, but when you get down to about, 6 to go, that's when you really got to start to work together and just have some bragging rights, of course, for this fun event. And there, Oscar's now P2. So they are flying under the Finnish flag. To finish first, you first must be Finnish? Is that what they say?
Well, Finnish drivers do have the best car control, with obviously
Rally.
growing up basically with ice everywhere. They have to be decent with the lack of car control. Mika Hakkinen, Kimi Räikkönen, Valtteri Bottas.
Oh, nobody go.
And beached, though, no amount of car control is going to save you if there's a car stopping you from moving, as Soristo is then able to get back going again, albeit sideways.
That brings up Polish
That's-
driver
yeah,
at the moment too, Pole.
Yeah.
So
very,
appropriate into P3 and Matthew Jackson in the background there. So Matthew, of course, Matty C is going to be T-boning. Oh, he didn't quite get the angle on it, and so this is getting spicy and dicey. Thomas now, I think, is a full lap up on everybody else here. So now he's got the biggest target on his back.
Yellow flag.
Oh, we got a caution.
With 10 to go, the caution's thrown, and everyone once again will bunch up because the caution worked so well last time it was brought out.
Yeah.
As it'll pick up Kana, and they will have to wait around and be nice and patient as everyone behind them, of course, will begin to queue up. All the lap cars will work their way underneath and back to the lead lap, or as close as they can get. At the moment, there's only a couple of drivers that are. Andrew Pike is just catalyzed. Again, just it's like moths to a light, basically, with these drivers. They see one driver purposely, like, just veer left into pedestrians, and then they all just follow suit. They're very following sort of instincts, I suppose. The pack dynamic that we've got. They're very much followers instead of leaders. Andrew Pike, of course, taking great pride in being the one in charge.
He's trying to hit
as
him.
Poundland beats off McDonald's in some sensational scenes here in 2024.
I was going to say, Zach, maybe it's like with those insects, you know, you're going towards those lights. It's like, look at the light, don't look at the light, and you get zapped or whatever like that. I mean, Poundland, I thought the reason why he's got the Poundland on there is just because he wants to pound every other driver into the fence.
Maybe that's what Andrew Pike is into.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might well be. I wouldn't put it past him, seeing as his brother Stuart is on a certain app, which again is designed for pounding as well. But you know, whatever. Maybe it runs in the family. Not entirely sure. Thomas Kana then leads them on to lap 73 of 80, followed very closely by Jamie Dory and Oscar Soristo in third. As there we go, the low line taken from Dory, and Prosa in the mix as well. He is then able to take the lead of this race. Nicely done, with just 6 laps left to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole race has come down to this.
Oh, this is going to be interesting to see. If you want to get turned at this point, there's probably not enough time to recover if you get turned. So it's just going to... But we don't know what's up the road, of course, and we don't want to spoil necessarily what's up the road. There's going to be cars out there. Are they going to be working together, of course? And then I'd be like on the radio right now, of course, to you there, Zach. I'll be like, all right, yeah, you go left, I'll go right. Let's flank them and let's bin them into the fence, as you can see. So, and well, Zach is now a lap down, believe it or not. Jack, not Zach.
Who?
Jack. Zach. I'm going to murder me later on at the moment, trust me. I'm going to share the booth with this man. He's going to strangle me, but hopefully Thomas is not going to be strangling me. He's going to be strangling his way to what, give or take 4 laps to get this one done there. James going to hunt down in the background, and there's Oscar. He's got big trouble there if you don't keep that turn in the right direction.
Oh, he tried to go for the kill, but in fact, actually, that backfired mightily quickly. He squared up to the wrong man, the DeWalt just able to throw him off.
Jamie's in the lead.
Kana, as Jamie Dory once again retaking the race lead. 4 drivers a win with a shout then. Dory, Kana, Soristo, Perikas heading on to the penultimate lap of this race. 2 to go, and Dory, let's see what he can do.
He get tagged here if anybody backs up. What did you back up the Hooter machine? Here we go. Karen Sharp's going to turn into him for sure. Karen Sharp's going to time it perfect. That's the problem with the speed, isn't it? Bang. They're going to try to hold him. This is it. Remember, it doesn't matter if you've got your best friends out there. You just want to try to take out the race leader. Got a target on your back. Last lap. They might turn him.
He's gone.
It might bring Thomas into play. No, Thomas has been held up too.
So Khan has been held back, but I think actually it is going to be a very, very close battle in the end of things as Kieran Sharp is doing his bestest to murder Dory. But round the final corner, despite all of the pressure, he's up 20 places, 80 laps complete, and he's the one to beat them all off here at the TSRC banger race. Jamie Dory in sensational fashion and celebrates the victory in the best of ways. Thomas Kana then brings it home in second place ahead of Oscar Soristo. Goodness me, what a race in the
Toby Prosser, I'd have to put as well too. It's probably been the best performer overall for the event. Because he's always finished up in the top 5 or so, right? I mean, he's, I mean, considering all the carnage, it's not bad. There's Tom. We'll get those results actually in a second once they finish wrecking up those beautiful cars. Do you know, they cost a bit of coin, right? Don't break them. Zach's like, if I had one, I wouldn't be doing that to it. All right,
no, I wouldn't. No, to be fair, I don't mind the look of the GR86. I just hate how they drive in iRacing. Nonetheless, 80 laps here at the Lanier National Speedway. Dory, Kana, Soristo, 1, 2, and 3. Parakas and Prosser, a consistent run inside the top 5 across all 3 races. Tom Davidson, ahead of Matthew Cheverton, Jack Southfield, Ben Altria, and Gergely Conchabo. Kieran Sharp once again close but no cigar to the top 10 ahead of Tiffany Toledano. Alex Meredith from Andrew Pike, who only finishes 14th. Tom Buxton from Mark Sykes and James Smagsale. Costa chats in Constant. Oh no, no, it's Costa C. I tried to round it off to go for the full name, but I completely and utterly bottled it. We'll do it again. Chats Sir Constantinal. There we go. Costa C ahead of David Barnes and Jamie Nuttall complete the top 20 ahead, of course, of Grant Miller and Hayden Miller as well. So the father-son duo, Grant, this time able to finish ahead of his son in P21 and 22 respectively. Biggles, that was an evening, to put it bluntly.
Shake it bake, baby. Shake it bake. I don't know if you've still seen Talladega Nights or yet or not, but you need to watch that one because as somebody mentioned out there in the chat, and thank you very much for all the chat. I love all the engagement that we've had. I'm quite sure we do have a couple of people for a quick chat, so you want to direct
We
in?
do. Let's start with this man right here, Costa C, a man that I've become very, very familiar with in the world of Enduro KA. Of course, your affiliation with David Edwards and your role in the 24 Hours of Silverstone and things like that. But you decided to come here to lower yourself to this standard. How was tonight for you? How did you get on? Did you find it enjoyable? Or, well, I'm sure when Costa's able to unmute himself and hopefully be able to hear us, then we'll have a chat with him. But at the moment, it's not. Costa, can you hear us?
Costa, we keep Costa in here for a second and he comes back there. We've got somebody else waiting, so see if we can
do indeed. We'll swap them out momentarily. We'll bring in our race 3 winner then of Jamie Dory. What prompted you to think this would be a good idea to sign up for this event?
I wanted some nice clean racing, to be honest. I thought, Friday night, have a nice, easy, fun, clean race.
Bring the safety rating up a little bit. Get your license
The
points
IR
going up. Yeah, love it. a job well done, I think, because there was 0 incidents, and I think everyone. Well, I mean, to be fair, there was no damage left on the track. Everyone made it to the checkered flag. I mean, no DNFs. It must have been a clean race.
Yeah, 100%. I think there was 2 safety cars in that. It must have been it must have been for fluid or something. So it must have. But yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10 for the drivers and the cleanliness. I loved it.
What was your strategy then for this evening? What was the ideal going into turn 1 all 3 times? Was it just a case of survive, or were you out there with a vendetta? Were you trying to purge as many people as you could?
To be honest, if I'm being frank, it was just wing it and just take everyone out. Anyone gets in the path of the front end of this, there's a sharp right hand down, left hand down. People coming down the inside, if they're not quite far enough alongside, shove them to the inside wall, and maybe end up on your roof a couple of times. And it certainly happened.
As you do. Was it beneficial then to blow off some steam? Because it's not often that you get to drive as if you're in GTA and iRacing, is it?
No, exactly. With Andrew Pike, Jack, and Kieran, known them for quite a long time now. They're a good bunch of lads, so it's good to come on and just have fun doing the old smasheroos that you can only dream of in iRacing without the consequences.
Exactly that. Don't boost their ego too much. They don't need it. Pike has already got a big enough head, and the other 2, they're just. It's fine. We'll brush over that. They do a good job nonetheless, and it was a very enjoyable evening from us in the commentary booth as well. Jamie, thank you so much for coming to join us. Congrats on your win. Before we let you go, are there any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, just to the boys for hosting it. Obviously, I've got to say thank you to Next Gen Racing and all of our sponsors, partners, and stuff. So, and cheers to the comms. I mean, it must have been quite a dull moment in the comms box with not much action going on race.
Yeah, boring. So boring. In reality, it was the peak of my commentary career. I cannot believe I've just been paid to do that. Very sensational stuff. Jamie, take care. We'll see you back in a championship where hopefully you can go for a slightly cleaner victory.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Good
Take
job.
care, Jamie Dory then.
Jamie,
Race 3.
We haven't told you at the moment that you're not getting paid, by the way, Zach. So that's good. Thank you very much for contributing your volunteering. No, it's totally fine. I believe you said we might have Costa now, right?
Yeah, we do. Fingers crossed. Costa, can you hear us?
Yep.
Awesome. So I picked you up with a massive introduction. The man that drives in the Enduro K, Witness Sim Series, 24 Hours of Silverstone, David Edwards, and things like that. And you've lowered yourself to this standard of racing. I have to say though, big up on the livery. That was sensational. Just, I suppose, give us an overview on your evening and how it went for you. Did you enjoy the carnage?
Yeah, it was chaotic to say the least, but it gave me a clear head going into the 24 Hours of Silverstone tomorrow. So hopefully, the race didn't go to plan because people were using cheeky tactics, but it was all right.
I don't think cheeky tactics does it justice, really, more than anything. Is this going to be your ideals, then, for the 24 Hours of Silverstone tomorrow? Is this how you're going to head into the race?
No. I'm looking forward to it very much, but I didn't want to put any laps in tonight just so it gives me a clear head going in tomorrow and don't feel burnt out.
Yeah, blow off some steam, get yourself ready, and enjoy the sim race, because it can very easily turn itself into a chore, particularly when you're having to prepare for a 24-hour race as well. We wish you the best luck for that. Well done on the war crimes here today. Well done on the best livery I think I've ever seen in sim racing. Before we let you go, of course, thank you for joining us in the commentary booth. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, obviously my team, 287 Motorsport, I didn't get time to make a livery for us, so I just decided to stick the Hooters one on. Yeah, we're hopefully doing more touring cars and hopefully get to be in the GR86 League, which is coming up soon for you guys.
Awesome stuff. Well, take care. Hopefully, we'll see you on the top step tomorrow with your teammates, and hopefully we'll see you returning to the TSRC with some good results as well.
Thanks, see you later.
Costa, don't go anywhere yet, because I want Zach to pronounce your surname on live on air. Yes, Costa. What do you think? It's worthwhile, right? If we can get it come on correctly. All right, Zach, you get one chance.
Well, no, because Jack Werrell got all the free passes with Costa C. Why not me?
Costa,
why don't I get?
Costa, shouldn't Zach do it? He's got to earn his coin, right? I mean,
Yeah, he's got to do
it's
it.
his job to read the drivers' names out.
Hang on.
Let's go.
So I'll go slowly. Chat, or is it a sh sound? Oh, chat. Ze Constantinau. Chat ze Constantinau. There we go.
Nope.
No.
Hadji Constantino.
What?
Yep.
Oh, you were close.
So the C's.
It was
so
close.
the C silent.
Yep, pretty much.
Hatzi Constantinino. Cool. Anyway, see you later, mate. Bye. Never want to speak to you again. It's fine. All right, take care, mate. I'll never say your name ever again. It's fine. Yeah, awesome. See you later. Thank you very much for joining us. And we'll get our final interview in this evening. We've got him in as... There we go.
Fuck off, man.
Oh, nice.
Language.
Yeah, that is the
Language.
the best... Wow,
Blame
that
Sharpie
was...
Fat. That's not me. Blame Sharpie Fat. That's not me. I promise.
All right, we got beef anyway. Go ahead,
Well,
Zach.
That was it.
I have never been so perplexed to begin an interview. I've got to be honest. But here he is, the man who I think has ticked off the most incident points in iRacing history this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did today go?
Well, I went into it with as much style, as much control, but yet I maintained that aggression all the way through to really help the boys. And I'm not gonna lie, they put me as a bit of a rear gunner. They said take this guy out, stop him from getting away. So that was my job there tonight.
And who was your top of the hit list? Who was the driver you were going for most?
It had
or was
to be
it just
Dory. He seemed the one that used to come across the lips quite a few times. He was like, "Get Dory, the purple one." I was like, "Yeah, on that." It's a bit like Quality Streets. You try and find that purple one, he's evasive. Then you find that one at the bottom, and you think, "Yes, I've nailed it." So I took him out a few times, and he was my sole objective.
I am so using that. Thank you to compare
No worries
drivers
at
to
all.
Quality Streets. That is
Absolutely.
just enhanced my commentary career. Which, by the way,
I'm more of a toppy one, so I'm a bit sticky in places. But
Oh yeah, nice. As has been a lot of people this evening with some incredibly suspicious rear ends around the circuit here this evening.
Absolutely.
That was one of the best races, or sets of races, I think I've ever seen. Is that the usual standard of driving that we can expect to see from you in future TSRC events?
I mean, if you watch Next Gen, that is pretty much standard. But when it comes to TSRC, we do expect a little bit more.
In terms of carnage or in terms of safety?
I'll let you choose.
Awesome. Well, as long as Jack Southwood doesn't finish a race, I'm a happy man. So it's all
In
good.
that case, more carnage. I did try and
Sweet.
take him out a few times because he was leading, and I wasn't going to have that because he was using me as a rear gunner. So I thought I'd take him out a few times.
Here he is right now, actually on the replay. There it is. Right on the
there you go.
replay, on
Straight to the
cue.
wall, get out
Bang.
of it.
Good job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of him. He's quick, but sometimes dumb beats quick. So here I am. And again, I had another go at him here. I knew he was going to have a go. But sometimes I say it's all about the style, control, and aggression. I couldn't resist him hitting fish there. Sometimes he needs a little whack here and there, just keep him in line.
It's so true. That is so true. In terms of liveries, I think you TSRC boys definitely hit the nail on the head. Absolutely with it. I do love the DeWalt livery, flying high up there, and definitely living up to the name of the brand with the powering that you were able to do.
Oh, it's more. I chose that because the guys say I'm more of a tool than I am useful. So I just chose DeVault to go along with it.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, you should have gone for
He's got the
Halford's
power.
Advance maybe. Halford's Advance maybe would have been a better choice for the IQ, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
definitely.
Nonetheless, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary booth. Well
No
done
worries at all.
on a successful evening. Before we let you go, any shout out you want to give?
Just massive thanks to the TSRC boys. They put on a really good season last season. I'm looking forward to this one, and this event was fantastic. And anyone who's watching who thinks I'm not the best driver on iRacing, get involved with these. These guys will help you through, develop you, and look at the fun I've had tonight. I'm one of the lowest rating in the lobby, and I've had the absolute time of my life. So yeah, massive shout out to the TSRC boys.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck for the upcoming season.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome. David Barnes then joining us in the commentary booth this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, eventually we were going to have to say goodbye to the Sim Racing Collective banger race. Biggles, what did you make of this evening then? What's your biggest takeaway?
I thought that old Davey said it. He had the time. I've had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. That's right. I'm not going to try sing that song again. But I think that's exactly what the drivers had, wasn't it? And yes, he is the sharpest tool in the shed. Should go back to that one. But wasn't it fun? It was fun. It was carnage, even from broadcasting, even for commentating. But we just had fun. And this goes to show you what the Sim Racing Collective is all about.
Yeah, a time for the drivers to let loose out on track, to enjoy themselves, as is the strenuous, sometimes chore-like nature of trying to be competitive in sim racing. It was a way to sort of take the edge off with a lot more safety regulations in place, because obviously sim racing, no consequences in this method of doing it. It was a chance for us as well in the commentary booth to take the edge off as well a little bit, and sort of let loose in the commentary booth, rip into more drivers than I usually do, and sort of just take a more relaxed stance, because again, even in the commentary booth, it's very regime, very pinpoint, very got to stay to the book, got to be professional. Whereas today we just had a chance to let loose and have some fun, enjoy ourselves, watch some carnage. We hope everyone watching along at home as well, both on the JP Broadcasting YouTube channel and, of course, on the Sim Racing Collective. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn the bell on for notifications on both the respective channels, because a lot of fun is coming up, both for those for the Sim Racing Collective, of course, with get yourself onto their SimGrid page. So many championships across all platforms and all consoles are coming up. And as Dave said as well, with the communal aspect, the fun that you can have, the racing action that you can have, the TSRC is the place to be. Same too with JPB, by the way. So much happens on a week in, week out basis. So keep an eye out for JPB leagues, for JPB broadcasts as well. Pretty much everything in the world of sim racing comes through us at some point. My name has been Zach Sweeney. I've had Dean Biggles alongside me, pointing the cameras and commentating along with the 3 races that we had here this evening at the Lanier the National Speedway, I should say, even though we've had drivers from here, there, and everywhere. It was a ton of fun. We hope you enjoyed, but unfortunately, it's goodbye for now.